Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Dos Cavazos here. I'm Anthony.
I'm Casey.
And we are watching episode 2 of Chernobyl. Man, episode 1 was a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
It's rough. It's tough.
What?
Well, it is. It's just like, it gives you so many emotions, and it's so crazy. And I said it in like our reaction of our previous episode. It is true horror. Like, it makes you feel super scared, more so than just any other horror movie that I can think of.
Yeah, I think so too. It's just sad. I mean, I know that it's a dramatization, but it's still so crazy and sad to just see that people really went through that. And, you know, this is based off of a true story. And it's just terrifying, you know, like just seeing people's hands get burned in like seconds and people dying just so fast. And
the effect of how quick everything that happened was insane.
Yeah. So last time we were just barely getting introduced to the characters that are played by Harris and Skarsgård. So I'm really hoping that we get to see them in this episode and kind of explore their characters a little bit more, because obviously Skarsgård won an award for his character. So
yeah, and we only heard his voice on the phone talking to
and I've
Jared
heard that,
Harris.
Harris was great in this as well.
We already knew he died, unfortunately, like in the first 2 minutes.
Oh,
like
yeah,
after
like later.
It took place, I guess, a couple years after the fact, and that was just like, what a crazy way to open a show. That already, just watching those first 2-3 minutes of the first episode, I was like, this is gonna be amazing. I could already tell, like the quality of how this is being built together and put together, I should say. And it just seems very respectful to like the actual story while giving you the actual elements.
Yeah, about what really happened.
A lot of y'all in the comments commented that not very much was actually dramatized. So there was like a couple
minor
elements,
things, but other than that, you know, which is kind of crazy.
I saw also in the comments that they said that the tapes were real. That he made, so that's pretty crazy in and of itself. I don't want to look up any of that just to verify anything yet until we finish the show. But man, I'm so intrigued by this these events, or this event I should say. So in the previous episode, we actually saw the events of the night where the core erupted or broke or exploded or whatever you want to call it. We saw the immediate aftermath of that. And now we're going to see, I guess, what takes place after that, which I'm really curious about. Okay, how does this contained?
So I know that in real life, there was a lot of people that helped to prevent this from becoming more of a catastrophe, even though it already was. And I know that this is something that I know for sure. I don't know a lot of things for sure, especially because I don't know how nuclear reactors work. But I do know that towards the end of them trying to contain the situation, they ended up having to fill the bottom half with concrete because there was so much water down there, and they were worried about the reactor kind of like the steam from the water heating up and releasing all this nuclear mist into the air. So towards the end, like these really brave people, you know, helped, like construction workers, all like teams of all kinds of people were called in, like firefighters, everyone.
This is not during the first night that these events happened?
This was like afterwards, because it was going off for a while.
Okay, so I'm curious if like those guys who try to help the situation by putting water into the ground may actually hurt the situation then, because that may have put more water into the ground.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I feel like I used to do a lot of research, and for whatever reason I just kind of like I'm getting it all jumbled in my head. So I'm glad that we're watching this, because I'm like, oh yes, okay, that. And still, it's difficult to understand when you're not like a nuclear scientist, you know? Like, I don't know how a nuclear reactor works. And that's like some of the main points of this. So, but I feel like they're laying it out to us in like a better way. So I'm excited to see if they include those heroes towards the end, probably, but we'll see.
All right, guys. Well, let's jump into the second episode and let's see how this story progresses.
It's boiling in here.
Oh no, they opened the window. Oh, they have a dosimeter.
Damn, it detected it just
from the window barely opening.
That's insane.
No.
8?
It would have gone off before. It's coming from outside.
The Americans?
Remember, Harris wanted them to evacuate the area at 3.6.
It's not military, it's uranium decay, U-235. Who's the next closest?
It's Chernobyl, but that's not possible. They're 400 kilometers away.
Well, that's too far for 8 Roentgen. They'd have to be split open.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe they know something.
Oh my gosh, they are split open.
They're gonna lie, though.
She's taking her iodine?
Iodine.
Could it be a waste dump?
I wonder how that works.
Yeah.
No one's answering the phone.
Oh, they cut the lines.
Oh, yes, you're right. Oh my gosh. This was back when things were landline. Oh my gosh. It's just so sad.
These are radiation burns. Their clothes are contaminated.
Oh wow. How come she's
Don't
like the
just
only
do it
one
with your hands though?
We're taking it down to the basement.
I feel like she's like the only one who knows how to handle this.
She was asking about iodine, right?
Yeah, which is crazy considering that they live next to a reactor.
Was that the wife of the firefighter?
Yeah. She's pregnant, I think. Cause she was throwing up.
Gosh. I feel like
And they're
the
just leaving it like in. They need to get it out, and they all touched it. Oh,
their hands are gonna be burning. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
it's so
they
sad.
probably
It's just one thing
didn't
after
know,
another.
you know, like the effects that could happen like this. You don't really know until it happens.
Literally, it's gonna be every one of those nurses or doctors or whoever's helping them.
Yeah. I wonder what it says.
Or if it's the facts or like the
fiction.
Yeah. He's freaking out though.
So his name is Legasov.
Professor, yeah.
So we can stop calling him
Harris, yeah. Yeah, I didn't catch his name in the first episode.
In terms of radiation, Plant Director Bricano reports no more than 3.6 Röntgen, the equivalent of a chest X-ray. So
even X-rays can be dangerous.
First Deputy Chairman Sharkov.
So they put like a lead like thing on you when you get one.
If there is nothing else, meeting adjourned.
No. Yes. Stick it to the man.
A fireman was severely burned on his hand by a chunk of smooth black mineral on the ground outside the reactor building. Graphite. There's graphite on the ground.
They don't know what that means.
There's only one place in the entire facility where you will find graphite. Inside the core. If there's graphite on the ground outside, it means it wasn't a control system tank that exploded. It was the reactor core. It's open.
Oh my gosh.
Are they gonna
They're not.
It's 3.6 Röntgen, which, by the way, is not the equivalent of one chest X-ray, but rather 400 chest X-rays.
Oh,
that number's been bothering me for a different reason, though. It's also the maximum reading on low-limit dosimeters. They gave us the number they had. This fireman was holding the equivalent of 4 million chest X-rays in his hand.
Professor Legasov, there's no place for alarmist hysteria.
It's not alarmist if it's a fact.
Well, I don't hear any
facts. Every gram of U-235 holds over 1 billion trillion of these bullets. That's in 1 gram. Now, Chernobyl holds over 3 million grams.
God.
3 million, billion, trillion bullets in the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat. Most of these bullets will not stop firing for 100 years.
Oh my gosh.
Some of them not for 50,000 years.
What the hell?
And, this concern stems entirely from the description of a rock.
Yeah. It's called deductive reasoning, bitch.
Fully respect his confidence.
I feel like you should trust an expert.
I want you to go to Chernobyl. You take a look at the
Go to
reactor
it.
personally, and you report directly back to me.
Wise decision from the General Secretary.
And take Professor
Oh
Legasov.
shit!
Well, I mean, we knew that he was like affected by it.
Oh my gosh, that must be terrifying when you know where you're going. He's like, probably needs to be like, I need to get out of Europe.
He's gonna be pissed because he's the one who told him that you're just a consultant.
He looks so different.
Yeah.
I think they said because it was his eyebrows too. Remember?
Well, he doesn't really have eyebrows, but like his hair looks a lot different.
They said that
they
put eyebrow wig on him, and that's why he's more expressionable.
Good. I know how a nuclear reactor works.
I'd be like, can I have another lesson?
I don't need you.
Oh my god. He'd be like, okay, let me off, please.
Look, that's graphite on the roof. The whole building's been blown open. The core's exposed.
I can't see how you can tell that from here.
Radiation ionizing the air.
Well, if we can't see, we don't know.
God.
Get us directly over the building.
We'll be dead within a week, dead!
Get us over that building, or I'll have you shot.
This is so frustrating. I mean, I know it's...
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Come on. I just can't believe these people are making such decisions that are just like gonna kill them.
I
Like,
know.
in horrible ways.
like, why wouldn't you even question the thought that maybe he is? Like, I'd be like, oh, okay, maybe I'll just, you know, err on the side of caution here. She gave her a pill, I bet. She's going, yeah, I knew
Stable
it.
iodine will keep your thyroid from absorbing radioactive iodine.
Oh, that's what it does.
Why did I see graphite on the roof? Graphite is only found in the core, where it's used as a neutron flux moderator.
You saw burnt concrete.
Now, there you made a mistake. Because I may not know much about nuclear reactors. I know a lot about concrete.
Conrad, I assure you that...
I understand.
Our high-range dosimeter just arrived.
Okay.
We could cover one of our trucks with lead shielding. Mount the dosimeter on the front.
That must like
And
to
I'll
be
do it
that
myself.
one. Oh, that's
damn.
honorable. Because why would you send someone else, you know, like... He's gonna have to drive through it.
I just want to know, like, why can't you just do it from right there?
I think they just want to get as accurate of the reading maybe as possible.
Yeah. I mean, if the professor or the scientist, she got an 8 from 400 kilometers away, and 3.6 is the equivalent of 400 X-rays.
So is this reactor supposed to be like the Titanic in the sense that, like, Titanic was never supposed to sink and it did? This reactor was never supposed to explode.
Well, I don't think reactors. This had never happened, obviously.
Yeah. Well, they
before.
say like
this is where the firefighters were.
Well, they keep saying like the name of the reactor, you know, like so. I guess maybe this one's like built to withstand. When he comes back, they better not touch that truck.
He's back.
Oh my gosh, I'm like nervous, even though like it just makes you feel like you're watching it all unfold. I would just not even have that truck there anymore.
It's not through Röntgen. It's 15,000.
I knew it.
It's giving off nearly twice the radiation released by the bomb in Hiroshima. And that's every single hour, hour after hour. 20 hours since the explosion, so 40 bombs worth by now.
Oh my God.
No excuse.
Dyatlov was in charge.
He blamed someone else.
Obviously, we're going to need to evacuate an enormous area.
Never mind that. Focus on the fire.
I am focusing on the fire.
Never mind that.
The wind.
Like, is it prideful, or do they just not want to
Where are you
admit
going?
they were wrong? I feel like people's lives are like the main priority.
hotel.
That should have been the first thing you did was evacuate. 30 hours.
It's like not gonna even hit it. You have to like swing it in, but that's not. I don't think one's gonna
I wonder
work.
if one of them's gonna crash like it did in real life.
Is that what happened?
No. They're too close.
I don't know if that was a spoiler for you, but it's history. I feel like all of them are just significantly way too...
Oh no.
I knew it. I shouldn't have said anything. I should have let you just see it. I didn't know it was actually going to get portrayed, though, in the show.
Oh, which nephews?
Talking in code, maybe?
Simka, who is 14, and a little boy.
They're dropping sand and boron on the fire. Chernobyl.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. I feel like to them, though, like, it's their duty almost, you know, to help with the knowledge that they have.
Well, I mean, with that, they know that they're gonna die anyway.
Yeah. But, like, they're the only ones who know.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. And we'll be dead in 5 years.
No. That's horrible.
Hope that makes them take action, though.
The nuclear plant in Sweden has detected radiation and identified it as a byproduct of our fuel.
Sweden.
The Americans took satellite photos. Reactor building, the smoke, the fire.
The world knows.
Oh, it was just a matter of time.
The wind has been blowing toward Germany. Not letting children play outside.
And you're letting all these people stay.
I know. Other people in other countries are taking action, and you're
And
not.
they're just walking out from school.
Oh my god.
I don't know if that is, but that kid had like some red on
I
his
think
face.
it looks like school. And like they're just letting them go about their lives. Like they think it's a fire. Uh-oh. Are those evacuation buses?
Possibly. It looks like
It's gotta be. I don't know what that means, but it sounds important.
I mean, they weren't telling them anything, and now they're
Yeah.
making announcements in the streets.
Oh yeah, they're
It's
evacuating.
telling everyone that they must leave.
All those people are already so exposed. At least they finally came to their senses, but like, come on, it's been like,
Day and a half.
yeah.
A little bit more, 36 hours, you know, day and 8 hours.
There was an old guy in the apartment. I wonder if that was supposed to symbolize the guy that refused to leave in real life. Maybe not. I think that was the guy. Oh no, the dog! That makes me think of our dog.
If you arrest me, you should take me to the highest possible authority.
I know that your reactor core is exposed. You don't have a month, you have approximately 2 days.
Whoa.
Yes.
Tanks are full.
The uranium will melt the sand, creating a kind of lava which will begin to melt down through the shield below.
You've made lava.
I anticipated
causing a significant thermal explosion. Estimate between 2 and 4 megatons. Everything within a 30-kilometer radius will be completely destroyed, including the 3 remaining reactors at Chernobyl. The entirety of the radioactive material in all of the cores will be ejected at force. The release of radiation will be severe and will impact all of Soviet Ukraine, Latvia, Lithuania, Belarusia, as well as Poland, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Romania, and most of East Germany.
Gosh. For Belarusia and the Ukraine, impact means completely uninhabitable for a minimum of 100 years.
This is insane.
And how long before this happens?
Approximately 48 to 72 hours.
Oh my God. This is insane.
We're asking for your permission to kill 3 men.
It's just, like, sad because it's 3 men or like 60 million people and the whole of Europe almost.
Is that him giving his approval?
I think, yeah, that's what that meant.
You could have some little remorse, though.
Yeah, they're probably just like all in shock.
A yearly stipend of 400 rubles.
But they're not even going to live a year.
To their
and for those of you working in reactors 1 and 2, promotions.
Why are reactors 1 and 2 still operating at all?
For 60
You'll do it because it must be done. You'll do it because nobody else can. And if you don't, millions will die. 1,000 years of sacrifice in our veins. And every generation must know its own suffering. I spit on the people who did this. Go into that water, because it must be done.
That's like the scariest thing ever. Like, how could you volunteer to do something like that? But like, how could you not also?
Yeah.
On an ankle.
Where's Parlov? Baranov.
It's just like, it's so noble, but it's like terrifying.
Yeah. Like they're cleaning up someone else's mistake. It's crazy. Like radiation is a silent killer. Like you can't see it. It's so deadly and toxic. Oh my gosh, that water is probably just like.
She said they'd be dead in a week.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's like on the longer end of that spectrum too.
Probably, yeah. That's the leak, maybe? I forgot what exactly they're trying to do.
Well, they need to drain the water and stop the leak.
Yeah.
But then also, I don't know if they already did this, but the fire trucks are still shooting water into it.
Yeah. They'd probably stop that though by now. Hopefully, you would assume. Oh no, his flashlight died. Crap. I'm pretty sure that really happened too.
Is it like the radiation is just killing the battery?
I'm not sure, but I know that
like how would both of them just go out then? It has to be something.
Yeah, I know their flashlights really did go out, which is crazy. How like you can't see anything. Oh, wow, that's how this one's gonna end.
So that was episode 2. Crazy.
Yeah.
Some of the events that like they showed after. Immediately after, like the initial explosion of the reactor is just insane. And the fact that most of these people know that they're going to die is crazy. Those 3 men that volunteered to perform that work to drain that water. Mm-hmm. It's crazy because they know they're walking to their deaths.
Yeah, it's really noble of them, you know, like sacrificing yourself basically to save people you don't even know. Yeah. But on the other hand, like that could have been millions and millions of people, and like just tons of countries, and just people not just necessarily dying immediately, but like for years and years, cancer, birth defects, things like that. Like it's just insane. So it's like those 3 really, really deserve more credit. Yeah. I like that they're keeping it pretty true to what happens. Like,
yeah, you spotted the whole. I know.
I'm gonna not do that anymore because I don't want to spoil anything for you. So I won't do that anymore. So don't come at me in the comments. But yeah, so like the helicopter thing did happen. The flashlight thing did happen. They went out. So I'm glad that they're keeping in those little things.
Did like they speak? Like, I was curious whether it was happening, if it was like a result of like the radiation with like the batteries. Is that possible? Because why would they have both gone out?
It's possible. I'm not sure how that works. I mean, probably. Who knows? I feel like Jared Harris could have easily won the award as well. Like, as well. I mean, we haven't seen them as much yet, but I just feel like he's such a great actor too. Like, Skarsgård obviously is like amazing. But
I feel like he hasn't like they haven't seen everything that he's going to do in this show
like
yet.
So far he's doing very well. So I don't know, just all the acting in the show is amazing. You know, like the directing, everything. Like it's so well done.
The score too is so ominous. And one of you guys said something in the comments about how it was the same person who scored, or the same lady who scored the Joker. Yeah, which that was a very like ominous tone too.
She is excellent. I love her. So it's all so good, and it's just like hard to say it's so good. I mean, it's obviously the story is very good.
The
like
events are sad.
The show is good. I mean, but the events are so sad, and it's just like everything is just like so dark and sad, and I don't know. I can't
like
even believe that it actually happened.
It's like so much doom. It's like it's just like you're watching this unfold, and we kind of know what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. I really like the introduction of the scientist.
I didn't catch her name.
I don't remember. I mean, I caught it, but I don't know how to pronounce it. But the woman, the female scientist, you know, I like her. I like how she's assertive. I like how she kind of like felt almost not obligated, but almost obligated, you know, because of her profession, because of her knowledge to go help the situation, because if not them, then who else, you know, like they're the only ones who know what to do right now, or the only ones who like are realizing we need to do this, and it just makes me so frustrated that the people in charge
took so long,
like are taking so long and still have doubt. So I feel like Boris is the one exception to all these commanders who are taking like so long to get the ball rolling, and you know, to like realize that they made a mistake and they really need to fix it. Like I feel like he took a little while at the beginning, but he finally is like the one who's like, okay, you know, we need to get the ball rolling, come on. It's just, like, so frustrating that it took so long, and that, like, they didn't care about the people in the town till later, and, like,
He was still listening, I feel like, to his chain of command, too, because they pretty much told him it's not dangerous enough. It's not dangerous enough to evacuate. But a couple of different things that I feel like finally swayed his decisions in that regard. When they finally sent the high-range dosimeter, I might be pronouncing that wrong, but to get the reading with the truck, and that finally came back at like 15,000. That was one of the big events. And then the second one being that phone call where they told him like the other countries are not even letting their children play outside, and he just goes to the window and sees kids walking from school. Yeah. Like, that's insane. But at least he finally came to his senses. Unfortunately, I feel like for a lot of the situation, like a lot of the events that are happening here, it's just like too little too late for a lot of people, and that's super unfortunate because these events happened. It's not just a show, but it's real life horror, kind of like what we kind of talked about earlier.
I think it's interesting also that a lot of these people are like, their first thought was, oh, is it the Americans like bombing? Yeah. And it like relating to, I guess, like what we probably grew up in seeing movies was like of that time period. For Americans, it was like, oh, are the Russians bombing? So it was like cool to see that comparison. Not like cool, but it was interesting to see that comparison from a different side of the world, you know, like from the same conflict.
Well, like in the very first episode.
It's just interesting, you know, especially just coming from... because we're American.
Yeah, well, that worker in the nuclear reactor too, he was hiding. That was his first question. Like, is it the Americans?
Yeah. So that was just like not really related, but just kind of like a tidbit that stood out to me. That was kind of just interesting.
So, Casey might know a little bit more about, I guess, what's going to happen based off of like her knowledge of history, but I'm very curious to see how the next episode's going to unfold. Obviously, where we kind of left off is a little bit of a cliffhanger in a way, like not letting us know that those workers were down there. Their flashlights went out, but they definitely have a job to do, and I have a feeling that they probably did their job, but I'm very curious to see how it all happened after the events of what just happened with their flashlights going out and they're pretty much having to do this completely dark.
Yeah.
It was a great, weird transition how it ended too, because you know usually screens fade to black when a show ends, and it just faded to black, and it was so like synonymous with their flashlights going out too. It's crazy how they did that. Really beautiful symmetry in that regard.
I feel like I know more so facts than like the full picture, so like I'm still learning so much from the show, which I'm glad about. Like, I don't know. I guess just, like, there's so much that happened over the course of the events, and, like, it's just cool to see all the, like, little random facts I know getting pieced together, and, like, the full story. You know, it's, like, one thing to read it, like, on a page, but it's something so different just to see the story unfold before your eyes. So, like, this is just really, really awesome in that regard.
Yeah. One thing you mentioned too that I did feel like I read somewhere at some point was like there was like one man who just refused to evacuate, and I think he had passed away a couple weeks after that.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be that one that they kind of showed, but I think they showed him getting.
Yeah, he was getting on the bus, but I kind of got that same thought too. But
maybe that was like kind of like a reference to that.
Yeah, because I feel like the city's evacuated. I don't think they'll go back and like. Tell us about a person that stayed there after the fact.
It's crazy because, like, you know, somewhere you've lived your whole life maybe, or like for a long time, if someone was like, you need to leave, it'd be hard to leave. Like, you're home.
Like on the drop of a dime,
too.
And
like, they don't even know what's going on, really. Like,
people left their glasses at the tables where they were eating lunch.
They had to leave, like, immediately.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's so scary and crazy. All right, well, we are looking forward to seeing the next episode to see the rest of this story. If you are enjoying our Chernobyl reactions or maybe being sad with us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and click the bell so you can stay notified for our future Chernobyl videos. And if not, we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.